share do keteketiri.
Mini jina kotie na kotie ji afi abo ne ni woche himeji a abo mi nukusu na onugba ike kemoko be moko ye no dromo na na abo modern na tole sani ana enaji antalo ene wo ni ya to ga ni ji gaja seche ke Dzase foi amepe na ameto gamanche genye ya numi ya ke ni na ba kan ye ni ba na numi fe ye mi na ameto gamanche 2011 kabata mene leji gamanche shibene eshe 2017 na to le 2011 2017 MPP government time ne ameke me kuma ye Dzase mi no mfe kume na me wola me cha me fo na me ke boko club awu je me ni Kevin shi gafe le ake je Kevin ji gamanje no se amaje adama la chagbe ya gase temi na me ke Kevin gbe awu age ni niye taki adama la che to njole gbomojile ismo la hi ashiswe mo ye gan ja ke ko bo ba kwema no je lahi ashiswe mo alo basa fe mo jino ni kenu ba no enme twinshi ni ke yimlagbe ni wo chole rule of law mene a judgment high court judgment be na ji egbe akesa shake wumi wasama mfo ya menwo no na meketi appeals court afie teke afie dwamine mene nyumbo dromo na appeals court he ewie aga adama la che diga mancha aka egba wumi lolo wona ni bi ni ya no ene wo le bi ne Dzase e ba pe ni ameke wie mo aha na ma fe ke gadan we bi fe wo ba je ni tumo nshi enu wo ba je nshi e sana ye pai ni wo cheme himbeji ne te fe ambadu mo se no ni wo ba fe efi wo manye ke hawo ene wo mache wo ni o chami ye fa ide dan wo ba je nshi e sane ake solimo aje shishi ene wo mache nyemi onupa asfache nunu ni etu wewo chofele asfache ni ahele nunu ni etu wewo chofie de no oje wonu tumo
ago ke wake ya jiwo ke sho no ti mache ke wale ganya ga shio chobe won double shot mwene you are doing won double shot what should be baba you are qualisa one quality mojibu mojibu eni so mo be obejeme o bisu ko di ka ko be fe mo joni eyan awo yi on change ba fi ko be so le money mini se ko bi aba se be se mais ba se bien comme si bien marche je n'aime quand coller de mon acheter mon fait agan ba yo ga tuana mo wo shimo gbe mo ko yugo bi so le mo nega wo chon wo Jesus Christ ba amen no Jesus Christ o ka wa shi wona ga shi amen
onda ko ye hie no na baba fe mene wo we jama wajin keni bi fe sisai fe yemi na ba fe o na ba je hie ehie da to enyo kuna fu kwa ka hie bonu wo bia me gba hu na me ya me bo awo bi kun yele fe wo no afu da ko na ke da me hie bona fe no ni hu na ba yue mo ni ba ka ni e ka ni fe elile akato abushi no fe no ya no pepe tenye call te
chofi je da wo kin abo si won chebu ko bo ba jono awo pe do fe no ni wo ba fi eye lu Akago Chamekanyame.
Amen.
Akago.
Amen.
Eh, Mena Shime, Mena Shidu, Nema Ju, Nama Ju. Kankan any wadomone. Eulu, Wadomon, your Subi Anum. Your honor. Cheme, Nyeme, Jema Wajin Fanny Jakutoneni, Nameti, one change to nearby Daniel, Nyaka Jomo Drajo. Biasuma. 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 Brigadier Fachi. Mwaya. Bonio. Nisenke webi. Tekpuluke webi. Dudo. Nanchoni. Nebaya Daniel. Nyaka Jomo Drajo. Hey, Nchana Ebroso Bominsa. Nayo nae yao nayo nae yao nayo nae ope dada mira odoma king amralo bi amralo ope amugio ope totro amefo amena we o se kan kamle France aki le venye ba ya konye no anya ka jo mo jo ajo awo nje sa mo krote okutu breche bo ka fiti osa breche ani won chebo efe ne fiti no ba so awo na ko le aboyo san flepo àwọn breche ani o fufo ti enyo eyawo no pe wo yo se lóko wa dùn tẹ̀sà wúlò ni. Ọkàn fọlọ́ mo kó balọ̀ mi balọ̀ kú ọkọ̀ kẹwé bíi náà ń tọ́ ọ̀dẹ̀ ní fẹ́ nyẹ́ bá yà dá nyẹ́ nu ànyẹ́ kẹjọ ọmọ dùn àjọ àwọ̀ kókó bíi náà ń tọ́ ọ̀dẹ̀ nyẹ́ bá yà dá nyẹ́ nu ànyẹ́ kẹjọ ọmọ dùn àjọ àwọ̀ jẹ́ lóko ní ṣé lóko ní bọ́nẹ̀ kí n takí adama làjẹ́ àtọ́ gan kùsùn fẹ́ẹ́ níjì kùsùn ní yọ̀ọ̀nà na ke tole ake gamanje ni ya to ga ni di gajase che ke ijase piafo efe na ke tole isla te government kokro ni aje yin epo ni ba gbe wule won yen mi ahun ka bata ngene gbi ni wo yu oni fe ku owo chonyi na tie ni wo kenye nya ye nyebu awo nya aka kuni yele akikiri aka fiwo lolo amenyemi amekuneku ene he ba ke ngmene dune deja se ka jasi efe ke gato mu ofe wo ga won fe press conference ni wo tula game fe to engbe eni anukwali e kan na ka fonje noni wo bi oni nya fe nya awo kekeji ni ano bi antone mais ni je gapo ameje amekolo ameko ame ya mewumi na memo amefiti omo gan do dan wo ka shuoshi wo anye ni na kanye nu onye shi ko nya bona fe ni wo pa ni wo bla de ba shu wo ni na kaino me ni dwen wo ye fon kesha keni bi wo velo ko kemo fe enye di ni nye ha o manye afi wo no na ato akpe wono be miye nonu wo bi o kekeji won bi awra ho awra na ha wo gbomotu hiwale ke wala ni se ke wo ye ni bi ne be wo yobon nu wo bobon ke je langa ka gbe adansula ka gbe oputu apra gbe ke ibi ogoji nke na fosa na wala wala mi wala se wala ni je na ma fi wotu twa umanyaba
wa je nu chumo nshi no ofitebi eno wo mache njemi Reverend Theophilus ni papa kwoti ni ike imeji na yimu abaha ataficha lo
Paramount Stool Dzase on an appeal and stay of execution filed by Ojiaoho Yao, JB II, President of the National House of Chiefs, on recent judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal, Kumasi, at the Supreme Court. Friends of the media, Nime Name, ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. The Dzase of the Ghana Paramount Stool has invited you to this press conference to throw light on the recent judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal sitting in Kumasi, and to express our surprise and protest on the stance taken by the President of the National House of Chiefs, filing an appeal and stay of execution against the judgment of the court. To say the least, this development is shocking to the Dzase and generally embarrassing, since under Article 270 Clause 3B of the 1992 Constitution, the National House of Chiefs is mandated to establish and operate a procedure for the registration of chiefs and the public notification in the Gazette or otherwise of the status of persons as chiefs in Ghana. Background. Friends of the media, with the demise of Bonini Amugi II, Gamanche in 2004, the need for replacement befell the Dzase and his Dzase. However, at the time, the Dzase Ni Kweku Niri, known in private life as Mr. Portego, had predeceased Niga, which situations call for the installation of a new Dzase. Since by the customs and usage of the Ghana Stool, only a Dzase can perform the burial of the king and install a new one. This led to the installation of Ni Yaote Otoga II, who rightly sat in state to bury Ni Amugi, and install Boni King Taki Adamalache II, Gamanche, in 2011. Owing to protracted chieftaincy disputes, it was until 24th April 2015 that it was gazetted by the National House of Chiefs as the legitimate Gamanche, after the process had passed through the Ghana Traditional Council, the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, and finally the National House of Chiefs, with the publication in the Chieftaincy Bulletin as mandated under Section 60 Clause 1 of the Chieftaincy Act 2008, Act 759. On 17th October 2017, King Taki Adamalache II was admitted into membership of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. Then on 20th October 2017, Kevin Taki was unlawfully imposed on the people, good people of Ghana, as Gamanche, and forcibly brought to the Stool House under protection of a combined military and police team. Subsequently, the name of Boni Kintaki Adamalache II was unlawfully and unjustifiably expunged from the National Register, and that of Kevin Taki inserted without any evidence of death, abdication, destillment, or judicial order to expunge Ni Adamalache's name. This resulted in Ni Adamalache II applying to the High Court, Kumasi, for a mandamus to compel the National House of Chiefs to restore its name in the National Register of Chiefs as the Gamanche. The High Court, Kumasi, rightfully ordered accordingly after hearing all the parties, and subsequently on 12 June 2025, the Court of Appeal unanimously affirmed the decision of the High Court and accordingly dismissed the appeal mounted by both National House of Chiefs and the interested party. From the above stated facts, we beg to ask the following questions. 1. Is the president of the National House of Chiefs, as the head referee of such institution, right to appeal to the Supreme Court? 2. Is the decision to appeal a collective decision of the whole House or a body? We believe that the National House of Chiefs is made up of well-established lawyers and judges who believe in the rule of law and will stand up to be counted, and we graciously appeal to them for the withdrawal of the process from both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Finally, we appeal to the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs to intervene in order to uphold both justice and peace in the Ghana state. Meanwhile, we call on the good people of the Ghana state to remain resolute but be calm in these times of turmoil in our Ghana chieftaincy matters. A comprehensive press conference on the whole issue will be addressed soon. Long live Boniki Ntaki Adamalache II. Long live the Dzase and the Dzase. Long live the Ghana state. Thank you.
Piake noni kuku ni Dzase kanine. Ntibri ni o noni Dzase kanimi. Ke ha wonyeme gamehu anu nshia o ajie mi kuku. Noni e ga me keje amechenye bi enwene. Ye sani ni kangano ake kamanche sani. Kajabena atonia mugi Kabashi 2011 ne ni atoto ga ake ganja seche eto gamanche ni gamanche ni eto oji ni taki adama lache shimo se ne aya gazette manche kokulu ene wo aketo mo boni nke enyimla ni ga enyo mla se wo e ka domo high court ake gbelo na cho na ji egbe ya kasete mi eja keke atomoko manche kusuna atole manche ni taki adama lache atole manche bemi na mole ake abifao na ba atole manche nle mene na egbe na mekwe ni tete tv kejeme igbe tekenye blema video ne aketoni taki adama lache ejiefe bi anikoti media no enye no fe ichoka je bena mole sempe mancheshia jenje na mole aye je shishiye na kele fuga akuche pa wo fe mi dana atule aha Dzase ni Dzase kelete century atudo fo no ya century ja wule tumi ye sakumo rom nye meni ba akwa na kan video amba na leba fe kusu leba yenpai enye bi fi ogo ni na ne galeji sakumo we yicho e ka chole loko numbo gba mi si wo wole aka chole ni ofe nse ne yue papa o ye mini pajiano ni mititiri ya accuse me mede na kan video lo amekwe beni sakumo romo ba ofe le yin na to enyo ne ka nye hie na kwa chukusumu simpe manche ejeme niji ndi otinto ni gbese yemi asira Dzase che ni amakai amefe yemi ni cho ake atole ye kusuna ni ka gbe ni na dana agbe na ba gazette yen na me yu ohie gazette yen le government gbeji anoto na aka na manche me enyolo ete ya kuchoko memi yen no ato na kan gbeji ano koni moniji pote a gazette bu nsene wamanyeme komehun echekpe ameke gazette na damala che hie fraudulent ni to aga tafra che junini no ni make egeji ele e ya ge ni adamala che nye ni le gazette ni adamala che enye ni le ko gazette ne ke ya regional house of chiefs alo eke ya Kumasi ake nye gazette ami Awomi Gamanche. She was constitution. Ke chieftaincy act en wo yo. Eto gbejiano. Nike atoboko manche. Ye kusun na achono. Dana ke gazeto. Kenkleji from 1B go ye. Manche ke Dzase ambafil from 1B ye. Ka me feel amegbe na ameka gan traditional council. Eja ke gan traditional council e ama me kura kusum gbejiano to fe ye wo gan state name gamanti asie. No na fi aka ha mi. Ama ye kusum na ye constitution na. Sana me kwa mi fe ketotomo ko be mi ye. Keka amamba forward ke ya Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. Mini we ajen. E ajen eja ke amehu ama me hie no ni brofo chole supervisory role. Traditional councils abonu oyo ye God a Greater Accra ne. Ame fe ame ye Greater Accra House of Chiefs shishi. No ameji supervisors. No abe ko ba ajen. Ni Greater Accra House of Chiefs hu ba akwemi. Kenoko be mi ye. Keke ame forward the National House of Chiefs. Jebeji any constitution na me ke gazette manchebe. Ama akwemi kenoko be mi ye keka gazette. No ni bi eteni nche ne fe ke jebeni adamalache ke from 1B ya ha traditional council emoko na kan wolo mi don. But if any wolo shi ga traditional council ne gete dodwa Regional House of Chiefs. Ne shi dodwa Regional House of Chiefs. Na gete National House of Chiefs Kintaki adamalache. Baby. She ama me kwa no fe no ya kusuna na be na ke o yemu. Na me fa aka gazette na gazette. Do inye me ka nche me ni obie. Ka ache ko fraudulent ani manye ni kaneni ne ka adamalache fraudulent. Adamalache ji fraudulent. Mene echo ame fraudulent ji kan traditional council ni do do saki no mi enya me here ake acting president allow the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs ni woche ni welenchi ode fio yo do ye papa ni welenchi na enyi ya keleji president ni do do saki ji acting president ye kan traditional council keke na gbe akete National House of Chiefs. No many to wolo heni be amesani eka ameju ame adamalache shi adamalache nyen eju no be ni me fe ni adamalache nu hihie de ekete High Court by mandamus High Court kwesa ni emi na me kwa me fe ameke o dabi National House be no ni nyechon ni nyejie egbe eja no asa na ka egbe awomi Benu wana National House of Chiefs. Nibodi inye mi ekale ya brofo ya miye. Waya constitution. The constitution Article 270 3B of the 1992 constitution. Eke hena jo na akwa ne kesaje ne ya di National House of Chiefs. No je ngie ni ahame order na mefiye. Na ahame order mo benu wana Amete appeal court. Ama fe appeal. Penu wana Kevin. Efa moni egele di esenche. Ya wo ole moni ji gasenche. Eye npa ye bi e mo fe mo eye orase. Acho mo tetation. Aga ya join as an interested party. Na mete na ya lemi. Nyumbo dromo na be ni jeje gbe na ge o. Be na je e be mlami. No akegbe awobi. I caught a you no more. No, now I'm a fair appeal. Me and you ne. I'm a fair appeal 2021. Where 2025. Need to get 4 years ago. Shaga no me MPP government in cover me he war. I be te ama war. I make a buy time. Kaka buy time me. No go to mo ba ta sa adamala chena. No boy ka appeal aya. E ka shi. Wana chui wa hame 2025 ne waka agbe ne nwe fe ma no no wote wa chie yin je wo sa no fi aga je wo wa fi apile shi aka ni wonta na nu kwale aka shi wo wote wo ke cheme ya appeal court aka sane ko ba hanyi kaja 2021 wonu ko no go ye won 2025 no afi ne le won ta ni na kan sane e akwe lele appeals court na wo sane aka eja no no na metuwe ni na nga Kevin ke e wo bi ake nye ba answer nga National House lele na ma answer won wo ha etu ni wo ha etu wo na alomi nyumba dromo appeal court e ma no ni high court e ke no mi no le we ha me 14 days na me ka wo me 14 days e won kan ya keke yihu anyumo afi sumo ke wo wala so ani ba ne 14 days e she si chole me beru wa akwe no president of the National House of Chiefs ni bo referee jibu no court e kwani ami ke o bo ni eyo eja no nyifa ni ye ke ma he ni ikan ete afi appeal ye no the Supreme Court ene wo jase e pe na me ga da bi ina eche amba man fe ana no kwali age gbenu ni wo president e ta frache echon e kan agbenu lo ehin lo ene hewo ha ameche na me ba chon ene ma nye you adon lo afi ni e regional house no me watche ni note the wo na ni beji no me le tanu shimi aka di meneta no president no mi wie kaka ake bolu eje regional house ne te national sheje Ntaki Adamalache ede alo enini no ne te no je me ma correct friends of the media we are down and we would like to take questions if any then we go on. Now please come forward.
In power, then you sort of have a guy, king or chief. A political B is in power. You also have another guy, chief or king. Is it a matter of the elders in the Ga states cannot come together to get a unified king or chief, or what is the issue? And why would the chiefs allow themselves, quote unquote, to be used by political parties? Because I've been to the Ashanti region, Volta region, Eastern, you don't see these things there. Why is it at the capital we are experiencing these sort of chieftaincy issues? I want to use some clarity.
Thank you very much for that question. The simple answer to your question is that it is never true that when new governments come into power, then they install chiefs for us. It is never true. I'm saying this because Boni Ni Taki Adamalache II was installed in 2011. In 2011, it was done without any help or any assistance from government. More so, if the video I was talking of, if you have the opportunity, if we finish, I'm going to have your numbers. I'll forward it to your platforms so that you yourself will observe it. There was not a single military or police personnel around or among those who witnessed and did the necessary customary rights for Boniki Ntaki Adamalache. So there was no government interference. Rather, it was when the former president, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, came to power that we knew they gave an assistance for Dr. Joe Blanksing to be installed. When that happened, by then, our king, Boni Nyamugi II, has not been buried. And by customs and usages, you can never install a Gamanche when the deceased has not been buried. For this reason, ab initio, when they brought him as a Gamanche, the Dzase rejected until they buried Niamugi and installed Adamalache. So Adamalache was even installed at the end, getting to the end of President Kufuor's reign. But nobody stood against us because we were going by our customs and usages. So for somebody to tell you that, it's never true. Secondly, when that era left, then came the NDC, if you are talking of governments. When they came, King Adamalache was there, but the other section of the Dzase were them fighting with us at the courts, regional house and the rest. So that went on, but still he was playing his role as the Gamanche until we were able to fight through and be gazetted. And he continued his reign. Lo and behold, he continued without any disturbance from any government. From the Mills government, when Mills passed on, His Excellency, the president became the president. Still, he reigned as Gamanche with no hindrance, has been gazetted. Until 2017, when NPP came. Then here again, they started that skirmishes. And then they thrown out Nitaki Adamalache and brought him Kevin. They even have to use the military and police to go and remove him from the palace and the Stool house under military guidance. The installation of Kevin, everybody in Ghana knows, it was under heavy security. Hamburg cars and whatnot were at the palace, where they said they were having commemoration of that so-called Gamanche. So it is never true. This is the answer I will give you. More so, we install our chiefs through customary process, and we have places. The stool room is the first point of call. That is where you will be put, and the necessary performance will happen. It's just like we have in other regions in Ghana. That was what was done for Nitaki Adamalache. But with regard to Kevin, you know, because it was in the papers, I think one of the either graphic or daily guide, one seat, two kings or two Gamanche. And we all saw in that graphic Kelvin Taki sitting on a bed in someone's room at Dakuma. You understand, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Yes. When they are taking your paramount chief, they are installing your paramount chiefs. Is it in your stool room or is it in the private home? So the difference is clear. Nigga was a stool in the stool room. All the performances near Adamalache, all the performances happened there. The most important, I think recently it was re-telecast for us, the instrument of Otumfuo, our great king. You saw it, how he came to the place where they have to swear the oath of our allegiance. All the kings and the queens gathered, and he was holding the sword. It's the same thing we do in Accra. Our place is called Amugina. That is where you swear. Kintaki Adamalache came to swear before all Ghanas. Kevin has never been to Amugina to swear the oath of allegiance. And sessions of the chieftaincy had shows how a person can be a chief. Without passing through that process, you can never be a king. So all that we say is, we are not using. If we wanted to use political, as they are saying, as you are saying, the question I will ask is, everybody knew when MPP and President Akufo-Addo came. Even the president himself was proud on his last visit to the Ghana Traditional Council to bid them farewell. He pronounced it that had it not been him, Kevin Taki would never have been a Gamanche. But it was advice from Honorable Stalia Ajiri Bramsey. He called that name, and some of the Ghana elders in the party, they came to Lord Kombe and the rest, they came to consult him, and he did it, which even was an insult to the Ghana kingship, because nobody should stand before our kings and queens and tell us it was through his influence that our so-called Gamanche was installed. It belittles us, so it's an insult to us. So we have never ascribed to that notion. And I was saying, when Mama came, if really they are saying, okay, that side is for MPP, and then Adamalache is for NDC. Since when did NDC came to government? Is it not January, about 6 or 7 months now? Do you hear the party coming in? Even Kevin was invited to these independence celebrations. Most of the chief executives and the ministers have gone to call on him. And somebody prevented it. So that clearly shows that we don't want any political interference. Thank you.
Yeah. As I'll be following this kind of the chieftaincy issues in that state. And I want to ask me Utuga, who installed the Andaman Nigeria, has he been playing the role as an acting king maker at that time before he installed the Andaman Nigeria, or he's been called as a recognized or legitimate kingmaker of the Ghana state?
Thank you very much. And that's a very good question. Because without a Dzase, we have already said this on many occasions, without a Dzase, there can never be a king or a Gamanche. Ni Otogan sitting in the middle here was properly elected and installed the Dzase. That was prior to the burial of Nyamugi. Because you heard it in the statement which my junior brother read. He said at the time, Ni Amugi went to the ancestors. The Ga Dzase, who was then known as Ni Kwakunri, or in private life, or Tego, predeceased him. That means he went before him. So the Ghana state had double agony, being that whilst there was no Dzase, the king is also gone. So this compelled the installation of a Dzase before the king could be buried. So Ninya Totoga was customary installed, and this there for everybody to see or know. He sat in state as the chief mourner at the Gamanche Palace during the burial of Nyamugi. He received representatives of Otumfuo, that is our late Ofinsohini, who recently also went to. Yes. He led the delegation from the Ashanti king. Our Akim Abuakwa king, Nana of Oripening, he came personally. And my Dzase sitting here received them to the Deba grounds. By then President Mills, late, was the president. He was there. He received him. The former and late president, Jerry John Rawlings, was there. It was he who received him. In the presence of all the members of the Ghana Traditional Council, most are gone now, but Nido Lusaki is there. So you could go and ask him who sat in state to bury Nyamugi. And that is our custom. Whoever sat to perform that rites is the very person who has the right to install the new king. And he just did that. Thank you for your question.
No one only one nearby say, Leana government mean be agility dancing mechanic now maybe I won't. Not ye Adamalache bear again. ame ba wo le po ame me ne sha me hia ona ame ana ma wo lo chime koko me ne sha me no na me hu ame ye ame no mi de wo na ji ole ni to aka na kan hia ajiele ma ke yele mi lo alo mi e she me awu no na me hu ame wo
yo one grace you are don if you go ya get da ko hu ne rush by force ne te ana one tete ko DJ le Dzase che ko di le hu ewo le ya kan ba na the influence of MPP. So that is the answer. Thank you.
Sinoni ba shiseji. Ogosu na Dzase wo ni Dzase pa. Dzase wo ni Dzase pa. Solo court sande. Shian bi amame Dzase cheme. Ame wo ame manche. Ni awo ka. O katwena no won dan moshi. Okay. What ba bi san bi mo drum ke somo ko ni ko me fe ma baka mate junior water and sewage ni pa kana fe fi ma yira da je be ina ke game ashiwo wa yes ani bibio beni yo boga 1987 na me north me say me boy school yo mo nya wo ba mo de wo fie ko me ko wo ya oni wo wondasi age na chenye nye kunye ni babutui ni kan kwali aya shia age wona bosajana ye bomoden ko ni neke court kan bi ne fe se afo ko wo ya oni wo wonda mo fe mo shi age na nyana be ni ba wonda cho fele wo shi age ko e ba se bi shwe wa se no nya wo ma wo yan shi no dalesi ake mbo bi le fi awo je mo ko chemi fi abo ken ko mi da bona na bo je mo ke o shi agbo egbelo mo ko fi won da bo shi age mene june o ye ba pe bi e wo ju san ka le no duko mi chaje mo ko we ona bo je Dzase je me je e chi anye banka ko wo gba ni bi awon chon wo da mo fe mo shi jo fe de gba mi amen